Philly sports, love and pain. I'm Dave. That's Kenny.
Yep.
And Kenny does Dallas, part 2.
I want to go home.
Oh, I want my mommy.
If you guys only knew what I've been doing for the last 2 weeks.
So much math.
It's too much math, man. Fuck that.
So, what's up, guys? We're back. Another episode of the old pod. We got no Eagles to speak of, which is fine. We had another amazing, unbelievable, like ridiculous weekend of NFL football. The NFL just continues to just deliver. It's just
Yep.
incredible. The first game comes down to Kansas City and the Bengals. Comes down to Kansas City takes the ball all the way down the field, 6-minute drive, and they stutter at the end of the drive again. Cincinnati just completely just clamped down on them in the second half. It was incredible what they did.
It was great coaching.
Yeah, I mean, what they did to Kansas City in the second half, I don't know if anyone did to Kansas City's offense in the entire season. I mean, I don't watch all their games, but I don't know if Kansas City went a half with only scoring 3 points.
Well, I mean, they classic hamburger Andy Reid situation.
Hamburglar.
Listen. Wicka.
I need to get that on like a soundboard, so you don't even need to say it. I could just push a button.
Yeah, that would actually be pretty good. So if you're gonna do a challenge, right? And I think everyone knew that he was gonna challenge it. He didn't need the timeout to discuss it. He knew he was gonna challenge. The challenge is a free timeout in sense.
I know.
So you just throw the challenge flag because you're gonna win it. I mean, that was clear as day, right?
Yep.
And then you get to keep your timeout. But because he's too stupid when it comes to game management with 2 minutes or less in the game, and he really isn't stupid, but he does have some terrible. If you look at his history, he's got some terrible game management through those Eagles games, and this one definitely screams to me right now. But you can't, if you're going to challenge, you can't waste the time out there, and it costs them at least 3 points, maybe 7.
Yeah, and one of the biggest knocks on Andy Reid before he left Philly was just his time management, like the questionable timeouts and the questionable non-timeouts, and just the seemingly the inability to think on his toes, in the moment, what to do. You know what I mean? It's just very bizarre. And he's like a genius coach, but he can't. He doesn't know when to call timeouts. It's the fucking weirdest thing ever.
Or challenge. I heard a lot of rumors that he blew the call into halftime. What I heard and read, and credible or not, I don't really know, but I like to believe it, was that he told Mahomes that it had to go into the end zone / he left it up to Mahomes to make the decision, right? That's the two working theories right now, right? Now I would hope.
Yeah, good.
Go on. You can.
So I heard that, and so I was actually ironically listening to this game because we took a surprise little excursion mountain trip this weekend, right?
Nice.
But on Sunday, we're actually listening to the game on Sirius, and I can't remember who it was, sideline reporter, whatever, said they talked to Andy Reid, and Andy Reid told them that he told Mahomes that he was pissed off, first of all, about the play. He told Mahomes that ball had to go to the end zone or it had to be an incomplete pass. He said not to throw the ball short of the end zone because Mahomes was asking for another shot. He wanted to go out there and run that play. So he told Mahomes it's got to be in the end zone or it's got to be an incomplete pass. And
all right, so
that saw what
takes
happened.
away from what my working theory was. But I was gonna say, if I don't care how good Mahomes is, he's still a kid in that sense, like a football kid,
Yeah.
So if you're Andy Reid, you have to take charge and just be like, listen, this is the deal, and if you don't do this, you know what I mean, you're gonna fuck us. And it sounds like he did do that.
I'm shocked that he let. I mean, it's so hard to say. I mean, Am I really shocked that he let Mahomes make that decision? Not really. Mahomes is just on another level. So, it's not like you're letting Joe Schmo go out there and like throw the ball. You know what I mean?
Are we
So
sure? Are we sure Patrick Mahomes didn't go into the locker room and then just trade bodies with Jackson Mahomes? Because what we saw in the second half was staggering, like concerning to the level of like it looked like Jalen Hurts out there.
Oh, whoa. Holy shit.
No, I mean it didn't look that bad, but
Oh my
oh
I
man,
mean,
I I think I think that cost them the game. I'm actually certain it cost them the game, just because the 3 of the 7, well, three, because we can automatically assume they weren't getting 7. So 3 points that changes your half. You have momentum. You go into the locker room. You're feeling good. If you're the Bengals, you're like, holy fucking shit! Eli Apple made a play, and you're hyped up.
of all
And
fucking people,
then
right?
was that?
Of all people, right? Like
Yeah,
all the
he's
hype
he's
going
a
into the
fucking
game, Eli
he
Apple talking, spouting off his fucking mouth,
he's a
and
Twitter
then
Jo. And if you don't know what Jo is, it's jerk off. But I think that changed the whole game, man. And I don't know. And this is why I'm concerned about how you say his name, Belemi, whatever it is, Baloney.
be enemy.
Yeah, he's an enemy because I'll tell you what, I don't think he's a good OC. And everyone's probably gonna be like, "Oh, how could you say that? 4 straight AFC Championship games, Super Bowls, dude."
Yeah,
When you have a Travis Kelsey, you have a Tyreek Hill, you have a fucking Pringle Pop, you have a fucking Holcomb, he's had great running backs. You know what I mean?
yeah.
Before Kareem Hunt decided to punch his girlfriend in the face, like he was there. Um, and obviously we're talking about fucking Patrick Mahomes. So like, is he that good? I mean, if you have that talent, I expect you to be successful. Did I say Travis Kelsey too? I don't know if I said that, but
Maybe, but right, you're 100% right, and I mean, also, how much control does he have over Andy Reid? Okay, so like,
true. Look
who's
at Doug
getting
Peterson.
who's getting the credit here? Like, is Andy Reid the mastermind, and Bieniemy is pushing buttons, or is Bieniemy the mastermind of the offense, and Andy Reid chimes in every once in a while, and he's like, "Yo, do this." I fucking
No
highly
fucking,
doubt that.
no fucking way. It's
Right?
Andy Reid's team.
Yeah, yeah,
And this is classic like good guy Andy Reid. He's just gonna sit back and be like, no, 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 this is all them. This is all the OC. I don't do anything. But we know, just from like our experience with him in Philly, we know that there's a different side of the story there. And I think, and everyone's like, oh, they don't. There's two things that go to my mind immediately, right? They're like, well, they don't want him as a head coach because the NFL is racist, right? They're a racist organization. Well, here's two things. People, if me and you can sit here and decide that he probably has too much talent around him for him to be a good OC, he's not doing the calls. The NFL knows that. Like these coaches know, or should I say, like owners and shit, like people doing the hirings know this.
right.
And
Well,
the
they see the
dude,
same things we see,
the
obviously.
dude has been in 4 straight AFC Championship games, so his window for interviews is a lot different than all these other fucking candidates that are eliminated or out in the first round.
Yeah, it's
So it's
late
harder.
every time.
Yeah, late. And I know that they changed the rule where they can go like, I guess. Well, it's probably different now. They used to be able to go on the bye, but only one team gets the bye now, right?
And the first, you mean like the first bye? Yeah, only
Yeah.
one team from each conference gets the bye.
So that's gonna hurt him again. I don't know. I don't think he's that good of a coach. And I don't mean that as I'm slandering or I'm talking shit. I just mean that like this whole expectation that how can he not be a head coach? Well, I can believe it.
Well, I don't know. I don't know. I mean, how do you ever know? Like, how do you ever
You
know if
don't.
a guy's good? Like, I think he was only on one team's list from what I saw. And I think it was Denver, and Denver already made a hire. So I guess
Well,
again, we're gonna go another season with Eric Bieniemy not getting a head coach job. I guess. He's not on anyone's list right now. So, I think everybody is. I think it's almost impossible. I guess you can honestly make the argument both ways though. Like you could make the argument, he's got way too much talent around him. Is he really that good, or is Mahomes just like good? Or you could say that if he's the offensive coordinator, that means that he should have something to do with blocking schemes and route schemes and all these things. Like he should be touching that. If he's not, and then there's like football insiders that know that he's not, then okay, then there you go. Then that's a different story.
And
And
they've had
when you only have listen, here's my thing. When Gannon has more teams chasing him than Bieniemy, something's up. People know something. I don't know what. Now, are you gonna go? Are you gonna make the argument that it's because that the teams are racist against Bieniemy? I mean, okay, then that's fine. Make that You can go ahead and make that argument. To me, it seems to me like that they think that Andy Reid is pulling more strings than Bieniemy. That's what it seems
No, he
like to
definitely is. And listen, I gotta stop saying that. I apologize. They they had a great O line. They blew it up last season, and then they drafted well and they signed a free agent here and there. And they had another good line. And this probably is going to go against everything that we probably want to believe or not. But like the Eagles kind of did the same thing with the O line. So like the O line is like very if you get a piece that works, it's easy to quickly get it together and hold together.
Right.
So like they literally are firing on all cylinders. I'm not a believer, and I'm ready to just pump the brakes on that whole expectation of where he should be, because he's gonna just be the OC.
You think he's just gonna stay in? You think he's just gonna stay in Kansas City and just chill with Andy Reid, and then like maybe like take over Kansas City when Andy Reid decides that he wants to stop fucking being a coach?
Or when Andy Reid becomes tired, when Kansas City becomes tired of Andy Reid, yeah, I mean, it's inevitable. But like, look at some of the hires right now. Like Josh McDaniels, that makes sense. He should have been a head coach the last couple of pools anyway. Nathan Hackett from Green Bay to Denver, that's a weird. Like, who the fuck knows? You know what I mean? Again, you can make, and I guess you could make this whole argument again, like Aaron Rodgers, Devontae Adams, Aaron Jones, great offensive line. The OC is a weird like position, like it's weird because like your success is completely dictated on other people's like success.
Yeah, but at the same time, you could argue that every coach position is that way,
Fair,
other than head coach. But even head coach is that way. Like
yeah,
if you have a bum ass fucking O coordinator and you're the head coach, what do you think your offense is going to look good? Your offense is going to
yeah,
look like
no.
shit. So I think that some of this is just literally us just bullshitting because we just don't
Mm-hmm.
know. But
Yeah,
also, at the same time, there's got to be some validity to it. If the dude doesn't have a head coaching job yet, and he's only on one team's list this year, and you got Gannon, who everyone in Philadelphia wants to like stab in the eyeball with a pencil. He has 3 fucking interviews. Okay, something's like off kilter here.
yeah. No, I tend to agree with you there.
So you think Doug Peterson goes to New Orleans or what?
No, I don't think he's going to get a job in this coaching cycle.
I don't either, to be honest.
I again, it's another like I don't know if people don't respect him. I don't know what the word is on the streets. Like that's why I feel like the Bengals are going to win the Super Bowl, because it feels like the 17 Eagles. Like it makes no sense that they're in the Super Bowl. Don't know how they're there. They beat really good teams to get there, and here we are. They're in the Super Bowl.
Well, why they're there.
Joey Burrow,
Joe fucking Burrow.
who's a dog man. One of the instructors at the school today said he doesn't like Joe Burrow, and I'm like, and he's a Ravens fan, so maybe that's what it is against the
Oh, that's
AFC
probably
North.
what it is. That's got to be what it
But I'm
is.
like, you can't fucking say that.
Did
And
you
what a
ask him?
crazy stat, right?
Did
No
you ask
one's
him if
ever
he
won.
likes Lamar?
We started talking about that, and I didn't get a vibe one way or the other. I'll ask him tomorrow. But
What was the stat you were gonna drop?
oh yeah. The high. No one's ever won a Heisman. What is it? Fuck.
What is it, like a trifecta situation?
Yeah, no quarterback has ever won the Heisman. Um, won the Heisman, won a national championship, and a Super Bowl ever. No quarterback. So he could be the first one to do that, which is cool.
Wow, that's shocking that that's never happened before.
Yeah, I said it in the chat.
Yeah,
Um,
I think I remember seeing it. Yeah, I think I remember. Um, I don't know. I mean, to think that that dude's never going to win a Super Bowl is just kind of ridiculous at this point. The guy can flat out play quarterback. It's not even a question. Uh, and honestly,
but
good.
what else I was gonna say was like the 2 years ago, the Bengals had the worst record in the NFL, the worst record in the NFL. And what changed? Two draft picks changed the whole franchise, and they have a great head coach. I mean, I think he's pretty good. I mean,
He's good.
just
Yeah.
if I didn't watch any Bengals games, which surprise I didn't. Um, if I didn't watch any, and I saw that game, that second half adjustment, whatever they did in the locker room, I don't know if they did a bunch of like fucking cocaine and they were just like fucking pumped up. But what an adjustment, man. Jamar Chase had 0 looks in the first half, you know, and then next thing I know, he's got, 6 catches, 75 yards. I mean, he balled out. So it was incredible adjustment. The O line adjusted from like 9 sacks to 1. And again, like Joe said, it's Aaron Donald and Von Miller, which I understand, but I still think they can hold it together. I think they just have the mojo, and I think it's their Super Bowl to win. I really do.
Yeah, but you know what? Like, even you think about so you talk about the other game and the Niners and the Rams, right? Like, I felt like the Rams barely won that game, like barely. I mean, I know
Yeah,
they
and
only won by 3, like, but I'm not saying like score. I'm just saying like what if like when you watch that game, if you think about like when you like watching that game, it felt like the Niners were just like in control like the whole time. And then the Rams pulled the Titans and just won because they just won.
well, you saw that stat where it was like Kyle Shanahan is like he has like 4 of the worst or biggest comebacks ever under his belt, like as a losing team.
Oh, like against him?
Yeah, like so the first one obviously he was the OC for the Falcons in the Super Bowl against Tom Brady.
Oh my god.
Yep.
Wow. I didn't
Um,
realize that, man, until you just said it right now. Fuck.
yeah, and then the next one was the Super Bowl with Kansas City. They were up like 21-10, I think, entering the fourth. They lost that. And then this game they were up what, 20-3 in the fourth?
20 to hold on. They were up 17 to 7, I think, in the fourth. And I think, right? Is that right? Yeah, that's
I
right.
mean, I'm looking for it right now.
Yeah, they were up 17 to 7 going into the fourth quarter. So,
So
I
that's
mean, you're
another.
up.
Oh, here they are. So yeah, it's the Atlanta game. It's the Super Bowl, 20-10 with 12 minutes left, and 17-7 with 13 minutes and 35 seconds left in the fourth. So it's just he's just not getting it done. I don't think he can close, and I don't know what it is. Like, you know what it is? They probably go into like fucking, shell mode, which you can't do, man. I hate that shit. You can't
That's
do it.
what listen, that's the reason why the Rams are here today. The
Yeah,
reason why the Rams are here today is because they didn't go into shell mode, dude. They were like, dude, that throw last weekend, not like the championship throw, but the divisional game throw to Cup
yeah,
was just out of fucking bounds. Like that's out of control. No, you like no one does it. And they
yeah.
fucking did it. They were like, fuck it, we're doing it. And they fucking threw a bomb. No one does that shit, man. They fucking
That
did
was a
it.
piss missile.
That was nasty. Just nasty. And Cooper Cup, if there's anyone who like deserves to be in the Super Bowl this year, it's fucking Cooper Cup, dude. This
Yeah,
guy's like he's on like legendary pace this year.
yeah,
It's
he's really
insane.
fucking good.
Dude, he's got 2,000 yards.
Yeah, yeah, no, definitely. And you know, I got heartburn like a motherfucker.
And
I
and
think
Odell making his fucking resurgence like hardcore in the championship game. Like what?
how bad is Baker Mayfield?
Well, listen, I've seen some footage like when I go down the nerd hole and I'm like watching these dudes break down film and shit. I've seen some stuff that makes me wonder, like, damn, maybe Baker, because they talk about this, like they talk about the ability to like read defenses, and this is the same thing. This is the same
Jalen
knock right
Hurts.
now against Jalen Hurts. The guy there, you either can read a defense or you can't, and it's really hard to learn. Like if once you're at this level, like you either have the gene of being able to get it really quick, or you just don't, and you're gonna struggle, and you're gonna always struggle. Like it's always gonna be like pulling teeth for you to be successful in the NFL. And it's not that you won't be successful. It's not that you can't be successful. It just doesn't come easy to you. Okay. Baker Mayfield doesn't have that gene. Baker Mayfield doesn't have the instantaneous like understanding of how to read NFL defenses. Joe Burrow already can. This is in his second year of the NFL, and he's got the gene. He's got it. Like he gets it. Even Garofalo can do it. He gets it. He knows how to make the
Garoppolo.
reads. Yeah, he makes the reads. You
He
know.
did have a Carson Wentz interception though, man. What? Like, listen, there's nothing that you are gonna do if your head is looking at the turf and one of your foot's in the air and you throw that ball. It's gonna be a pick
By the
every
way,
time.
I know his name's Garoppolo. I'm making a joke. Just saying.
Yeah, I know. I fucking know, you idiot.
I'm not saying it for you. I'm saying it for everybody that's fucking listening to this and going to give me bullshit about not knowing his fucking name. By the way, everybody celebrate. The Flyers won. Okay.
Fuck them. Don't bring that bad juju into my life.
So anyway, we have a matchup of the Rams and the Bengals. And honestly, dude,
I couldn't be
know,
more thrilled. Fresh blood.
I
new
love it.
era.
My God.
Fucking TB12 out of the fucking league officially finally today.
Yeah, so
and you know he was pissed. And how about this? This podcast is all over the place today, so suck my nuts.
oh,
Dude, he didn't thank the Patriots.
not one word.
Not one mention. Not one mention to Robert Kraft. Not one mention to, Joe Blow, the stadium guy. No Joe Blow to the guy that pumps the air balls, or deflates them.
Okay, deflate gate. What?
But I mean that honestly. All right, Dallas, chill. That honestly was very surprising. I thought for sure he would mention something or post a picture of him with as the Patriots instead of Tampa Bay, and then did that whole Tampa Bay bullshit. Like something, a blurb, a fucking sentence.
So what do you think it means?
Fans? Well, I don't think he wanted to leave.
Oh.
So I think there's some bad blood over there.
Thinking there's some drama going on there.
Also, I think you would be a fool to assume that Tom Brady will not be playing after 1 year of retirement. I don't know where. I guess the Bucs would still own his rights, right?
Why? What's the point of retiring?
Dude, people do this all the time.
Not in football. Not in football.
Yeah.
The only dude I can think of that did this in football was Brett Favre.
Well,
but he didn't actually retire. He just said he was gonna and then never did.
Yeah. I don't see him enjoying retirement as much as he thinks he's going to. And I mean, I know I don't know. I there's no way I believe that the Tom Brady chapter is closed.
Is that because you don't want it to be closed, or is that just because you just really believe that he's just going to come back?
No, I just think he's going to come back. Listen, Tom Brady to me is one of my favorite quarterbacks of all time. I just hate New England. So
like the area or the Patriots?
No,
or all their teams.
If I start hating every area, people are going to be like, "This dude fucking hates everything." It's Michigan only.
I don't mean the people. I mean the sports teams. Like you hate the Celtics. You hate the Patriots.
Because they're just the most arrogant, cocky, fucking sports fans, and they have every right to be. You know what I mean? Because they've won so much, and all four.
Well,
But
this just goes back to what we were talking about before. We just love to hate people that win. That's all.
yeah, and I'll be the first one to fucking admit that. I got no problem with that. Like that's why I don't like Kansas City. Also, I don't like Jackson Mahomes and Brittany Mahomes. So it's nice to have someone new to hate. But I did like Tom Brady in Tampa Bay, and I mean, how could you not?
I love Tom Brady, man. I don't give a fuck where
Yeah,
he
I'm a big
plays.
Tom
I don't
Brady
care if he
guy.
plays for the Patriots. I don't care if he plays for the fucking Giants. I would love Tom Brady. He's just the kind of dude who I don't know. It's different. It's different for me. Like usually I hate the good players that don't play in Philly. Like, like Sidney Crosby over the years and
I'm a Sidney Crosby fan. Oh,
so am I now, but like I used to fucking hate that dude. I used to despise him. But then like he
because
crossed
whiny.
over. Like there's like a threshold that like they can cross over for me. And I don't know really it's hard to quantify what that is for me, but I think that there's a point where it's like, all right, I can't really hate this guy. Like he's fucking just like all time great. So I gotta give
But
up on the hate.
it's funny you say this. Because like for me, I've loved Ovi since day one. Like day one, I've been an Ovi guy. Like that dude. If you did you see the shot chart from him on a power play? Because he just hit 100 goals from the power play.
No, I didn't see it.
It's like, yo, you should probably cover him on the right side.
Is it like literally right circle dot like every time?
Well, okay, so it depends how you're looking at the ice, right? So if you're looking at it center ice and he's shooting on the net, you know what I mean? It's on the left side. So it's always a left shot. But if you were behind the net, it would be the right side, obviously.
I got you. I got you.
But
Yeah,
dude, it is just a massive, it looks like a giant gumball of blue from his success rate. And not one, Dave, not one goal from the right side. Which I mean, not even one lucky flutter in. You know what I mean? He never leaves the left side. It's incredible that he's
On
still
the power
scoring
play you're
goals.
talking about, obviously.
Yes, of course.
Yeah,
Yeah,
right,
yeah.
right.
It's
That's
insane. I'm it's just like you start to get the appreciation. And like I think I'm sad now because like our my like 20s quarterbacks are all gone.
I know, and
They're
that's
all gone.
part of it too. Like I think that's part of it. It's like a nostalgia thing. Like as you start to get older, the guys who you really liked and you really latched onto, like once you get over the hate part, like I never hated Ovi either, but I really hated Sidney Crosby at first.
Yeah, no, I
And
mean, how could you not? Pittsburgh,
right,
that franchise should have folded. They should have left Pittsburgh, and somehow they get
the
two first round, mega people.
the whole thing. And there's players like this are all across sports, but I think what's happening is especially as you get older, these guys who are around for 12, 15, 20 years and then they're gone and you're like, fuck, man, this fucking sucks. Like I don't want these guys to be gone. Like that means I'm old now. And
It's the
yeah.
same. It's the same shit as like Eli Manning, man. That commercial. Every time I watch that commercial, I fucking crack up. He's like butchering all the words in the Olivia Rodriguez song, and it's just like,
Yeah.
uh, I loved Eli Manning. I mean, it was great to play him as an Eagles because he rarely tore us apart. They
For Eli Manning, I was like lukewarm on him. I didn't hate him, but I also wasn't like, oh my God, it's Eli Manning.
Dude,
I
you
loved
can't
Peyton
not
Manning.
admit you can't not admit that he is not fucking hilarious in the end of his like
Oh, he's
where he's
fucking
at
them.
now.
He's perfect.
I love him.
The Peyton Manning and Eli Manning, that combination is like they're unbelievable.
So in case
Whoever's
you go on.
whoever's idea I was gonna say was whoever's idea it was to like have that shit on ESPN. Like if it's a game that you
Shoot.
don't really care about and you just want to watch these dudes and you want to laugh, it's fucking amazing to watch that broadcast.
Yeah, they deserve a raise immediately. But what I was going to say is for those of you that don't know what quarterback we're talking about, so it's like for me, it's like Phillip Rivers, Drew Brees, Peyton Manning, Eli Manning, Tom Brady, Ben Roethlisberger. Am I missing someone?
Maybe Russ Wilson, maybe.
Nah,
It's
he's
kind of
still
on the
alive.
outskirts. Alive. Alive.
I'm talking like that. I'm talking about that '04 draft like region. I'm
Yeah.
pretty sure it's Manning's. Yeah, it's like six of them. I might miss someone, but like those guys are all gone. So like the NFL's like weird now, right? And they're in great hands. I mean, if you look at you know put your list together, it starts with Jalen Hurts being an elite quarterback, and then you got Josh Allen, Patrick Mahomes, Joey Burrows. Russ Wilson's in that weird teeter because he's like he's not done, but
Oh, you missed Mike Vick, I think.
was it? Yeah. Mike Vick, thank you. So, and I was kidding about Jalen Hurts. I didn't even get a chuckle that
I
hurt my
I heard
feelings.
oh, I heard you. I was just letting you go.
And then, and you got like all kinds of like younger.
What
I'm
about
excited for the future of
so
the league.
let's do this. I think it's fun. What about like Carson Palmer?
Oh, he
Or
was
like
fun, but he was a quitter and a pussy and a baby, so he's not on my list.
or what about like Culpepper?
Dante Culpepper. He
Yeah.
was pretty mean when he was with Randy Moss. They had a good fucking squad.
Yeah, he
They
was
couldn't get it
nasty,
done.
dude. I
Yeah,
know.
he's not on my list.
Let me think. Hasselback.
Get out of here with that fucking garbage.
How about
Hasselback, please.
Romo?
You gonna say Trent Dilfer next? Um,
Romo.
I liked Romo. Not like. Let me rephrase that. Like when I say I like these NFC East quarterbacks, it's just because I was never really worried about them, like
Yeah.
coming in and making a big fucking stink. So like you could say you like Tony Romo was funny as shit. And did you hear what he said during the Bengals broadcast?
What he said? No, because I was
Oh
listening to
my
it on the
god, dude,
radio.
it had me in literal tears. He was like, he's like, all right, so they're gonna kick the field goal on third down because there was a quarterback a long
Oh
time ago
shit!
that
Oh shit!
fumbled the most important snap, and then his who's his running mate? I always forget. It's
That's
him and
awesome. Nance. Jim Nance.
Nance didn't even acknowledge it. And then like 20 seconds later, he was like, "I don't think you heard me." There was once a quarterback, and then they both started cracking up. It was so fucking funny, man. I was like, and that's why I like Tony Romo. He can just make fun of himself. But he did have a stroke at the end of the game. Like I don't know what happened, but I think it was during. Oh yeah. So Joe Mixon fumbled the ball, right?
Yep.
It was during that time. Like he was like, "Oh, I don't know what Andy Reid could possibly be challenging." You know what I mean? Like he was just pulling shit out of his ass. So like people were like, "Oh God, Tony Romo was having a stroke." But yeah, Joe Mixon fumbled it,
I saw it.
100%.
Yeah, I saw it.
And then
I saw the replay.
apparently the refs said that he gave himself up.
Dude, that's soft. The refs were fucking whack. The refs were bad again.
Bro, could you
Like,
fucking imagine if they called a fumble and gave the ball back to Kansas City?
no, no. Oh my
I wouldn't want
god.
to be around for that.
So yo, I got a couple more quarterbacks to run by you.
Yeah, hit me him. I love it.
Rich Gannon.
I did like Rich Gannon. The only problem with Rich Gannon, I think he lost the Super Bowl in 2002, if I'm correct, right? Which I would have only been 12 years old. So like he was a little bit too before me.
Yep. Yep. Let's see. Steve McNair. Do you remember him?
Oh, I remember Steve McNair. I had him, and the reason that 27 is my favorite number is Eddie the fucking George.
Air
That was
McNair.
a fun team. Yeah, and I'll tell you what, I remember that Super Bowl vividly because that was the Dyson reaching from the 4-yard line, like he was
Yes.
fucking
The
close to the
reach.
goal line.
Yep. I remember.
I
Dude,
watched
I remember.
that.
So like it snowed here. That we had like a snowstorm around here the night of
Okay.
that Super Bowl. I just remember that because I just it's like stuck in my head. I'll never forget that like the pass and like he was on his way to the goal line and he boom and he was stopped short. It's like, oh my god, dude,
That sucked.
drama.
I
Oh my
remember.
god.
Do you know the year of that Super Bowl by any chance? It was like 99, right?
I don't. That sounds right. Actually, I don't know off the top of
So
my head though. I think it might be that. I'll look it up. Go. You tell your story.
I would have been like whatever 9 to 11, and I remember like I wasn't allowed to stay up for the Super Bowl, so like my mom put me to bed or whatever.
Yeah.
And my brother and I in our room had this little tiny like it literally was like a black and white TV, and I
Yep.
watched it on one of them like little TVs like laying in the closet so my parents wouldn't see me or hear me. I remember
Yep.
that vividly. That was
That
a good
was
game.
so. That was this '99 season. It was the Super Bowl in 2000.
So I was 10 years old.
Yeah, and it was the greatest show on turf. That's what they called the Rams that year.
Was that also the Miracle? I muted myself. Wasn't that also the Music City Miracle against Buffalo to get them into the?
Oh, was it the same year? Maybe.
I'm pretty sure, but I could be totally wrong. I was 9, so
Well, I won't. I was older than you, but
you're like 30.
yeah, I was 30 in 2000. Um, let me see. Let me see if there's any more on this list. Kurt Warner,
Yeah, you could definitely miss Kurt Warner. He was fun.
McNabb
Although
is on the
Kurt
list.
Warner in 2008 really pissed me the fuck off, so I put him on the list of hate.
Well, I mean, of course, 2008
That
was.
should have been a all Pennsylvania Super Bowl, and it hurts my whole heart.
Yeah, that was a rough one. We don't
I
really need to
think,
go down that. We don't need to reopen
oh,
those scars. I don't think.
let them bleed, baby. I still think they would have won that Super Bowl. We'll never know.
You think so?
That that was also a really good Super Bowl, though. I mean, Santonio Holmes with a fucking hell of a fucking catch.
Yep.
There's
Yep.
man, Super Bowl. I don't know. I think Super Bowl is my favorite holiday.
Holiday. It's not a
Yeah,
holiday. It's like a
yeah.
holiday. Let's
There's
see.
I can
McNabb's on the list.
fuck McNabb. Oh, I read something from
Brett Favre, Drew Brees.
Seth Wickershire. You know what I'm talking about?
Yes. I don't
He
know if
said
that's
that
the name.
they tried to do a magazine on him on Donovan McNabb in '04, and McNabb refused to do the magazine cover, and they went with Tom Brady. I felt like McNabb was super arrogant.
Why though? Like he had no reason, you know.
That's what I mean. And like this shit always annoyed me. Yeah, we know, bro. We know. You're the one that passed it into the ground. We know that it was your fault. McNabb
Let's
was one on my list of like I think I just can't even fucking stomach the thought of talking about McNabb in any good light. I just pisses me off, man, because he could have been so much fucking better.
I think one of the big problems with McNabb was that they're like he just and this is really the Eagles in general in the past like my lifetime. Um they never have weapons. They never have like I feel like every other fucking team that you watch and you like, oh man, these guys are fucking unreal. They always have at least one, maybe two or three offensive weapons that are just like ridiculous. Eagles never have it. Never.
Mm-mm.
Like never.
Well,
And then they finally get a guy, TO, that and then McNabb like fucking hates him or whatever the fuck happened there. You know, and it sucks. Like you they could have won so many fucking games together, man.
look at the final four. Just look at the final four of the wide receivers. Like the Eagles aren't sniffing that.
No.
They're fucking not.
No,
It's
man.
Cooper
Like
Cup, Odell Beckham, that fucking Jefferson. Robert Woods would have been there if he's healthy, right?
yeah.
The Niners have Debo Samuels, George Kittle. I don't know.
Well, and
Oh,
you
Brandon Ayuk.
you and look at the Bengals. I mean, the Bengals have fucking T Higgins.
Three.
They got T Higgins, Jamar Chase, who just came into the league and they're already better than anybody the Eagles have had in the past 20 years.
Well, I mean, there was no chance they were getting Jamar Chase, but I hear you.
No, no, no. I'm
Then
not.
who?
That's not my. I'm not making that argument. I'm just making.
Oh, that
I'm
the
just.
fucking tight end who
Tyler
goes
Boyd's
the
good too.
yeah, Boyd's a great third receiver.
Uzoma.
Yeah, and
Yeah,
who's
he's
the other team we're missing? Oh, Kansas City, Pringle,
fucking
you know,
Tyreek Hill,
Tyreek,
Jason
Travis.
Kelsey, Jason
Oh my
Kelsey.
God, yeah. It's taken me 39 minutes to realize that like the Eagles are fucking a century away. Seriously, they're missing things,
They're
man.
not though, because this is the Eagles. The Eagles will never. Here's the thing, and this is something that we just need to wrap our fucking heads around and accept. The Eagles
Don't
are
make me.
never going. The Eagles are never going to be a dynasty style team. They are going to be the team that wins a dirty Super Bowl here and there, if ever, because they don't build the team the way that these other teams do. They don't follow the same
Yeah,
blueprint. They just don't. And if they win one, it's going to be dirty, lightning in a bottle type of thing, and that's what happened to us in 2018, 17,
Yeah.
whichever,
No,
whatever
I
year
hear
you
you
want to
on
say.
that.
That's just the truth, man. Like it sucks, but that's just what we are. And
But again, like,
I feel like that's every team in Philadelphia.
you're not wrong. But the thing for me, and I keep seeing this shit, it's just like, why? All right, I'm probably gonna ruffle some feathers. I don't really care. People are like, "Oh, we don't want Deshaun Watson because he's got some." Like, who fucking cares, guys? Like, it's like every single one of these motherfuckers probably have a skeleton in the closet. It's only the dumb motherfuckers that get caught.
Well,
So,
that's
like, we're not taking people on their character. We're just we're trying to build a team to be successful.
this
I
is
know
the
that sounds so shitty as a human to say that out loud. You know what I mean? But like, it's just how I feel. Like, he's not guilty until proven otherwise. Correct?
that's what I was gonna say. He hasn't really nothing has been, and it's been a long fucking time. There's nothing official. There's no court anything. There's nothing happening. So something's weird. Obviously, there. I mean, did
You
something
can't.
happen? Did he probably do something really fucking stupid? Did he probably treat a woman the wrong way? Yeah, probably. He's fucking
Fuck yeah, he
and
did.
he's probably a complete dick dipshit asshole for doing it. But
100%.
it's 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 a really slippery slope. It really is.
No,
Like
I'll
this is
slip up on all that fucking slope.
we're almost going down the Vic road here.
100%. Like,
Like
if you serve your punter, like, dude, so many of these people wouldn't be allowed in the NFL if everything was, you know what I mean? Like, every single thing, and we held everyone to a standard, and we were like, never again. Like, you know what I mean? Like, and it's not just football. You can open your fucking eyes. Look at all the fucking baseball players. Look at Evander Kane for hockey. I'm
yeah.
sure there's fucking people everywhere. But my whole point of all this was, it frustrates me when I see, like, oh, Howie Roseman's trying to work up a plan to get Deshaun Watson. For what?
I don't know. It's the
Like,
same guy. It's like the same. It's like a little bit of an upgrade. Like, is Deshaun Watson really that good? Uh, uh,
well, he can at least sling it and stay in the pocket, and he might be able to read defenses. I don't. Listen, I'll be the first to tell you. I think it's an upgrade, 100% an upgrade, and it's a
uh,
good upgrade. And
is it an
you can
upgrade?
have
Is
your
it an
opinion,
upgrade because he's been in the league for 5 years? Is
probably,
it-
and that matters when you have a quarterback that can't read defenses or wants to run
right,
first. But
right.
my whole point of all this is, and it's taken me 4 minutes, and I apologize to get to this point. The Eagles are not a quarterback away. They're a quarterback. They're a fucking wide receiver. They're a running back because they only have one more year with Miles Sanders unless he resigns.
Yeah, we don't need to
They're,
worry about running backs. They're a dime a dozen these days.
but you get my point. Like, there are
Yeah,
so many things that the
yeah.
Eagles need. It's not like a plug and play. Like, okay, you know who comes to my mind? The Tampa Bay Bucks should go after Deshaun Watson because if they get Deshaun Watson, nothing changes for them. They still
But
have a
like,
very good quarterback.
I totally hear you, and I can't really make an argument against you per se about the Eagles being however many pieces away. But how many pieces away was Cincinnati 2 years ago?
Two massive pieces.
That's it. They were just two pieces away. They just needed a wide receiver and a quarterback, and they were ready to win a title.
They don't have a line. I mean, that's a proven fact. Who on the defensive side do you think out loud that's like the only reason I know Von Bell was on that team was because he made the interception. There's no one on that defense that sticks out that go, oh, you know who it is? Is the fucking defensive end is really good. The free agent they signed. I forget Hutchinson or
Hutchinson.
Hubbard.
Hutchinson.
Those two guys. Those guys. Where did Hutchinson come from? You know.
I'm telling you. See, this is the thing, though. But let me
I'll
think
look it
about
up.
it. Yeah, but this is the thing. I think my point is that we're always so caught up in like the obvious places, like, oh yeah, well, we need a better fucking quarterback, or oh, whatever. We need some consistency in this fucking town. I think he came from. I'm thinking. For some reason, I think he came from like you mean college or like or like a
No,
pro
no, no.
team.
He was on a pro team.
I think he played for the Saints. You can look. You can check me on it.
Are you
But
talking? Are you talking about? Hendrickson, or are you talking about Hubbard?
No, Hendrickson, the edge guy.
Okay.
Um, I think what I'm trying to say is like we need some consistency in this town when it comes to coaching because the one of the common threads of these teams that
Good
are
fucking
six
call. Saints.
that are success was it the Saints? Okay.
Yeah.
That are successful and they're successful for multiple years in a row is that they have consistency at the coaching positions, not only the head coach but the coordinators and the position coaches. Like we these guys come into the league and they might not necessarily be, a fucking Pro Bowler in their first 2 years, but what's not happening is the development is not happening. Look at the people that have been wasted over the years that out of Philadelphia. Was Aguilar as bad as we thought he was? No, I
What
don't
about
think he
Josh
was.
Huff?
No, stop it. I'm just my point is, and I'm not even I can't like I'm not gonna spend time trying to cite specific examples. My point is that the coaching inconsistencies in this town over the past 10 years have created a hole on our team in multiple ways, offense and defense, where guys are not being developed and turned into the monsters that they could be.
No, I tend to agree with you. I mean, the the proof is in the pudding. I mean, it definitely is. There's tons of players that you can talk about. Like uh, Rasul Douglas is the one that comes to mind. We kind of quit on him a little too early, probably. Um, yeah, I mean, you're not wrong. I just feel like they're just not ready to make that plunge on the quarterback.
I don't
They're
want
just
them
not.
to. I really don't want them to. I think that the way that this team is built right now, I think that I think that the way that they're going to be successful is by building around a young, cheap quarterback.
Yeah. Well, and exactly what you just said. Like, are they? They're not a dynasty team, right? So the only way they can
No.
be successful is a cheap young quarterback. And I hear you. Um, it's weird to see after what I saw in the playoffs. So, and we can wrap this up. But after what I saw in the playoffs, I'm struggling. I'm struggling with thinking that they have a legitimate shot with what they have. And we can talk after free agency, we can talk after the draft, and then maybe things will be a little better. But like
Right.
that team was not a playoff team. Either was the Steelers. They really, you could argue that the seventh fucking team in is pretty fucking stupid because the drop off is massive there if you look at it.
Yeah, but it doesn't matter. What's it matter if you call them a playoff team or you don't call them a playoff team and they lose in the first round? Like, what's the difference?
Well, I'm just saying to me is that like just looking at everyone else in the playoffs,
Yeah.
they're not they're not where I thought maybe they were before we started playing the Bucks. Is all I'm trying to get at.
Okay,
I
I
was
got you.
feeling a little different about them playing the Bucks than watching the Bucks game, and I still felt better than I probably should have after the Bucks game. And then now I've watched this whole playoff thing. Dude, they wouldn't even be on the field in divisional. You know what I mean? And I know that's obviously the next round, but like
Right. So of the 14 teams that you saw in the playoffs,
they were 13.
they're probably like 14th or 13th, right?
Yeah, no, they were better than the Steelers. Steelers were bad.
Okay, fine. They're 13th.
But still, like it's just the drop off is so significant. Um, so I'm curious. I'm curious, like the rest of us. It's gonna be fun to see what they do in the off season, and obviously we're gonna root for whatever. And if they get Deshaun Watson, I'll be thrilled about it. But I just don't think if they get him, we go Super Bowl. You know what I mean? There's still so much they need. Listen, we're going to beat a dead horse. They need to hit this draft. They need to hit it well. I don't care
Looking
how it
forward.
looks.
I'm honestly looking forward to talking about this for the next couple of weeks about the
Yeah,
draft and
no,
like
definitely.
all that type of shit. Like
And
it's gonna be really interesting to see how it shakes out.
it doesn't matter what they do with those draft picks. If they draft one and trade two, or they draft two and trade one, or they draft all three, or they trade all. I don't fucking care. But whatever they do, it needs to be successful. It needs to hit in some
Gotta hit.
capacity.
Gotta
You
hit.
have to hit. Now, if they draft all three and they hit on two, that's successful to me. You know what I mean? Just because odds. But they can't miss, man. And I won't be thrilled with one hit and two misses. So there's a whole lot of parts going on, and we don't know how it's going to look. But
Yep.
and free agency is going to be fun. And honestly, there are so like, dude, I get giddy when I think about all the wide receivers. There are so many. We ran through that last week or 2 weeks ago.
Yeah.
There are so many wide receivers that if that doesn't get you fucking hard, I don't know what will.
I hope they got to make a move for one of them. Either one of the free agents or one of the guys who's got a 1 year left on his deal. I mean, this team. You talk about completely changing the look of your team. You add a wide receiver on the other side of the field from Smith, and I don't care if it's Jalen Hurts playing quarterback. You're gonna have more opportunities for Jalen Hurts to be successful. And the bottom, if the bot, you know, if if we're holding on to Hurts and we're gonna try to develop this dude, cool. Let's get him some guys that can play football because
that's always
that's
going to be the argument. Let's get him situated for success because right now that's not what's happening.
Yep.
So let's get
100%.
the man some help and let's get it fucking done. And you know, let's just fucking do the deed, man. And Kelsey needs to decide what he's doing too. So there's a lot of parts into it.
A lot of stuff left to shake out. NFL, we got a bye week. We got the Pro Bowl, which means nothing. And then next week we'll do a little.
The Pro Bowl?
I usually bet on it.
It's honestly, it's probably one of the most unwatchable games.
You know what I do? You know what I do when I bet on it? I just look at the
box score.
No, I look at where people are betting. Like I look like whatever the public is betting on as far as I only bet the over under, first of all. Only the over under. And I look at where the public is betting. If they're all betting the over, I take the under. And then if they're all betting the under, I take the over. And that's it. And I win almost 75%.
It's a pretty good tactic. There's like I hate the Pro Bowl. And
you know what I love though? I love the skills competition. Are they bringing that shit back?
I think they are.
Dude, back in the day when Brett Favre's dropping back and he's firing those footballs with the fucking blue chalk dye on the front.
Yeah.
He's hitting them fucking targets. That shit. I would watch that shit all weekend.
Did you see what they're doing for the hockey all-star skills?
No, I didn't see it.
Dude, this is actually pretty sick.
Good transition, by the way.
Yeah, you like that? Dude, I'm fucking
that was
on
fucking
tonight.
That was fucking streamlined.
So they're putting up a wall with cards.
Okay.
Like, Vegas. And then they got to shoot out the cards and make it make sense, I guess, somehow like a hand or something on the skills. So, I mean, I think that's pretty cool. And they take a boat out to the fountain. It's on the fountains of the Bellagio.
What?
Yeah, bro, it's gonna be sick. And I'll probably check that out. I won't watch the fucking game. But you're right, the skills context, you can kind of get into it.
I love the skills contest in every sport. Like the hockey skills, always watch it. I don't even care if they're just breaking plates in the net. I don't care. It's still fun to watch it. And like the speed, like the slap shot, like fuck yeah. Let me see. Dude, show me Chara hitting 110. I'll watch it. I don't care. I watch it every time. And they started doing the speed skater. Fuck yeah. And you know what? You want the women out there skating? Fuck it. Let's go. Let's race. Yeah. Fuck it. I love watching that shit. I'm all about the skills competitions, man. And then basketball? Oh my God, dude. Come on.
Well, there's a significant drop off. Did you see the 4 players in the dunk contest?
Well, but that's you're bringing up a separate issue. The dunk contest on its own is legendary. It's on the level of home run derby, right?
Okay.
But then they fuck it up because they don't have the premier dudes in the game doing it. You almost have to have LeBron. You got to have fucking, you know what I mean? You got to have the guys in it. You can't be fucking having
LeBron's hurt again.
I saw he's playing too much.
You know that TikTok when it's when they run into the wall, they're 1990s kids, or 2000s, and then the last one is "Ow, daddy, my pussy hurts." That's when I think about LeBron every time.
That's fucked up.
I'm so over him. Ugh.
He just plays too much, dude. He's trying too much. He's playing too much.
How bad is that team?
They got issues, dude.
Big time. Russell Westbrook does not fit, huh?
Did you see him shooting off the backboard the other day?
No,
That
idiot.
was a week ago, but he was literally firing off jump shots that were landing on top of the backboard. It was fucking hilarious.
Yeah, he's. I don't think he's like washed or anything. I don't think he meshes with those guys.
Well, they tried to put together the fucking dream team from the 2008 fucking Olympics.
All right. Well, I don't want to go into this yet, but I found the list of 4 dunk contests, so I'll tell you in a minute. But I
All
wanted to
right,
talk
so
about the
we're
Flyers.
talking about hockey right now, and
Yeah.
the Flyers had a game tonight. They played at home against Winnipeg. I don't know if there were anybody at the game. Maybe a
Dude,
couple people.
I'm telling you right now that the Philly fans, for the first time in as long as I can think about it, are making a statement.
By
Okay?
not going.
By not going. This shit never fucking happens. They're always, dude. I saw videos today, like on Twitter and shit, of just the fucking, the stadium. The whole upper bowl was completely fucking empty. It's honestly a joke at this point. And
So
I'm kudos to the fans. Like it's a huge. Oh, and I read somewhere everyone was like, "Oh, it's because of the vaccine mandate." No,
no,
maybe
they were
two
selling
percent
games.
of it.
No, dude, they had huge crowds. Like back before that, the second ridiculous losing streak, they had huge crowds. Like that doesn't have anything to do with the vaccine mandate. No
But
way.
fine, put it at like 5%, right? Put it at 5%.
Okay, fine. Put a number on it.
95% of the reason that people aren't going is because I'd rather watch fucking Disney on Ice, which it is enjoyable in
I
case you
mean,
haven't
Disney
seen
on
it.
Ice is pretty legit. I like it.
Yeah, I know. I have nephews and nieces. All right, freaks.
Yeah, whatever.
But you honestly, they're not watchable. There's nothing to fucking talk about. Like I said, the NHL trade deadline is in March. Just don't even watch until like the last 2 games before the deadline, and then watch Giroux. And that's it.
Well, and the one thing I wanted to bring up before we stop talking about the Flyers because it's like wasting our breath, but you said kudos to the fans, and the reason why it is kudos to the fans is not simply because the arena is empty. That is really really a big part of it. But the really big part, the bigger part is that the reason the arena is empty is that the season ticket holders who already paid their money for the season tickets are choosing to not go to these games.
Yeah.
So it partly sucks because the Flyers already have your money, and it's like, yeah, guess what, season ticket holders, we already have your fucking money, so too bad. But at the same time, the public statement by not showing up in the arena, it shows up on replays, it shows up on in sports talk, whatever. Like it's bigger than it's not about the dollar. It's about the I don't know, like the camaraderie of saying fuck you guys, this is bullshit, banding together as fans and saying fuck you, we're not going to support this piece of shit product, you guys need to make changes, hire a coach, do something. Like it's I literally feel like the Flyers are like that meme where like it's like the stick figure guy and he's like poking the thing and he's like, do something. Like that's what the Flyers are right now.
I don't know. I don't know what you're supposed to do. Like,
Hire a coach. Would it change your opinion at all if they just hire somebody?
no, because I don't want them just to hire someone for shits and gigs.
No, I'm saying go vet the people that are available and fucking hire a coach. Why is this so hard?
Because maybe they're waiting to see if who gets fired. I'm just trying to make a justification. I don't have one. I fucking hate this team. I fucking hate the way they're ran. They're unfucking watchable. They're not going to be enjoyable until Comcast gets the fuck out of the situation.
It pisses me off so much. I love fucking hockey, dude. I was so hard up for hockey that I literally watched a random game the other night.
We've all been there.
I watched a fucking random game. I think it was like Anaheim versus Detroit or some shit.
I'm sure it was enjoyable.
And like I'm like I miss hockey. I miss it. So fuck you, Comcast, and fuck you, Flyers, because I miss hockey, and it's your fucking fault. So fuck you.
Does this lamp look like a testicle?
Mm,
Like, the veins all through it. Anyway, Sixers are back, baby.
it
I'm
kind
in.
of does actually.
I'm kind of fucking in
So
on
I got a
Sixers,
text.
baby.
I got a text from Kenny. I think it was like yesterday or something, last night, and he's like, "I'm fucking back." And this is big because listen, the reason why it's big is because I'm gonna dime both of us out. Kenny
Go
and
ahead.
I both bet against the Sixers last night.
Yeah, bitches.
We did. And Kenny texted me that he was back, even though he lost his bet, his hard earned cash. And so did I. So did I. I lost. But yo, what do we think about now? This is like a micro situation. But
Guys,
hold on,
guys.
hold on, hold on, hold on, hold on, hold on. What do
I'm
we
so
think
excited.
about fucking Maxi going toe to toe
With Ja?
with Ja?
Ja. What do you want to do?
Maxi,
Do you see that TikTok?
Maxi, yeah.
What do you wanna do?
Going for 33? Are you fucking
Listen.
kidding me?
Bro, that.
Woo!
Okay, so before I give the Sixers too much credit, I do have one negative thing to say.
Is it about
They
Toby?
got to get rid of fucking Kate Scott. She's fucking terrible, dude.
Uh-oh.
I don't care that she's a woman.
Womp,
I don't care
womp.
that she likes women. I don't give a fuck about any of that shit. She's terrible at her job. Terrible. They fucking stole the ball. Tobias Harris launches it, right? I mean, like a fucking piss missile from the front row. And she's like, Tobias Harris gets the ball. Oh, look at that. Half court. Oh, Maxi to seal the game. It's like, the bitch, she's so bad, man. Again,
Here's
it
the
has
thing.
nothing to do with her as like a person. I'm sure she's a nice woman. I'm sure she's great. I'm sure she's nice. I don't give a fuck. She does not bring a thrill to the fucking game, dude. And maybe that was part of like another whole reason like I was kind of hesitant too, which is crazy.
It could be.
And if anyone has the contract information on her, please send it our way because I've been looking. I
Can't
just
find
need to know
that
how long
shit.
I gotta know how long I gotta endure this because it can't be 27 years.
Here's the thing. I think I said this to I don't know if I said this to like you in the group or just to you directly, but I think and then we can talk about the game. But I think she's like she really reminds me of like a baseball announcer. Like
Yep.
where they'll be like, 3-2 pitch, and then like the pitch happens and you watch it and you see the strike happen and the dude just struck out and the announcer's like this. And that's the game. Like that's literally what they do in baseball sometimes. And she reminds me so much of a baseball announcer. Like, listen, she's not a baseball announcer. She's never been one. She's always been in basketball. Like that's her deal.
College.
She loves basketball. She's called college basketball. Like, okay, but we need some more, dude. Like give us some fucking, give us some spirit because I think part of the problem is that we came from was so
the greatest.
drastically different than this.
Like Harry Callis level?
Yeah, yes. In the basketball realm, yes, I think so.
Two people think of Kate Scott. Joe Buck on the home run call to send them to the World Series. I think that's what it was, right? When he was just like, and Matt Stairs hit a home run, and that will do it. And
no, I think didn't he say like Matt Stairs into the night?
Yeah.
Isn't that what he said or something like that? Yeah.
There was no energy. And then one that I think about a lot that she matches like through and through, and he's really good on college. But Sean McDonough, or when he came over to the NFL, was terrible.
Yeah,
he had the voice of college, and like again, it has nothing to do with her. I'm sure she's great, but she cannot, dude. She does not bring pizzazz. And then, he's good, but he can't carry a broadcast. That's why he was so good with Mark.
Right. He's a color guy.
And he like, dude, brain only on color, right? Like he couldn't fucking swing a bat at it. You know what I mean? Like he would be terrible at it.
Yeah.
So you need your color guy is only as good as your main person. and our main person is struggling. Not struggling. That's not right. That's not fair to her because she's doing a good job. I'm sure of it. But
No, she's calling the game. It's not like it's not like she is failing at her job. It's just not exciting.
it's boring.
I don't know what else to say. I want to feel something from the announcer when I'm watching some shit go down like what happened last night.
I want
and
to
it
feel some tingles in my private. That's all I'm saying.
just didn't feel it. But
No,
let's
I
talk
didn't.
about
Yeah.
Maxie going
Oh, I
toe to
wanted to
toe
bring that up
with
for you.
Ja.
I want
Ja.
Ja. I wanted to bring it up to you because I'll tell you what, the whole fucking stadium balled out. Apparently. All right. So yesterday was January 31st. All right. Give me 2 more seconds. I got this.
1-2.
All right. Drummond, 16-23.
Woo! 23. 23
And
rebounds. Was anybody else on the court?
I don't even want to give Fat Caputo any credit, but he was like, dude, we all missed the easiest fucking bet. Drummond over rebounds without Embiid has got to be the most square, easiest bet in all of America.
1,000,000%.
And
Dude, Caputo is so on with that. It's not even fun. It doesn't even matter what the over is. It doesn't even matter. Take it.
You fucking take it.
Take it.
Also, he had 5 assists. I'll tell you what, that stat line, if you didn't have Embiid, that's a starting center in the NBA.
16, 23, and 5. What the fuck is that?
8 for 11.
Oh my
11.
God.
Okay. And then
42
Curry,
minutes. 42 minutes.
Dude, he balled out. Curry, not a great game, but Maxey had 33. Tobias Harris, who has stepped it up since I went on my rant. You can thank me all you want. No big deal. 31 points. He had a great game. They pieced it together, man. And then look at and then if you go to Memphis, it's fucking Bane, 34 points.
34.
Ja, 37. I mean, dude, that was such a fucking fun game, man. And all these guys from school were like, hey, we're going out, you want to come out tonight? And I was just like, no, I think I'm gonna watch the Sixers game. So I canceled plans to go out to watch the Sixers game, and I'm sure as hell glad I did because that game was fucking fun, man. It was fun.
If there was ever a time when and I think we were talking about it last week, we said, listen, you got to start watching the Sixers because they're putting some shit, they're laying some shit down. And I know we mostly kind of wrapped it around Embiid because Embiid is on legendary pace right now. And 100%. He took a night off and they fucking showed up. And I did not think they would. I'll be honest. I thought that Ja would come in and fucking Ja rule them bitches. He didn't. It's a Ja Rule joke. Here's the deal. Here's why I made a Ja Rule joke. I'll explain. I watched the docu. This is a really fucking wacky tangent, but I'm taking it. I watched that shit. I watched that documentary on Netflix about Fire Festival.
Firefly, yeah.
Fire.
Oh, whatever. I know what you're talking about.
Fire Festival. Yeah, the shit that didn't happen.
Yeah.
And Ja Rule was one of the main dudes involved.
Yep.
With the other brainiac fucking crazy fucking guy who was running the whole thing. But that's why I made a Ja Rule joke. So it was on top of my mind. Had to go.
I liked it.
They balled, and they fucking showed up, and they took that game. Did you see the clip of Joel fucking running down the hallway? Yeah. Oh God, it's so good.
I'm sure there's some fucking fat piece of shit from Delco that's like, oh, he can't play in a game, but he can run up the tunnel. I'm sure
he took a night off as a rest game. Fucking back off.
You hear what that fucking toolbag Howard Eskin said today?
Oh my God.
He's still saying they should trade him.
Embiid?
Yeah, 100%.
Dude, stop it! Why?
Dude, because he's got a vendetta against the Sixers, and he hates them. So he's just
and against Glenn Rivers, as he calls him.
I'm gonna say something. I wish death upon him. I don't like him. He is. I don't care. Look at me all you want. He is a big part of the reason we have so many moronic fucking fans in this city because for some reason, the man puts on a fur coat in the winter and they think that he's fucking God and then they can listen to anything he says. He's
the king.
He's terrible. His son is terrible.
His
His
Kenny,
son has what?
Beat it. Yo, Howard Eskin and fucking Angelo Cataldi Like between the two of
Ship them
them,
out. Ship them out.
like there's so many dead brain cells that they have created like over the years. It's unbelievable to me.
And we as fans are 100% the. I say this all the time. Like I hate follow people on Twitter all the time, and we're the
Oh
reason
yeah,
these people still have fucking jobs because people
I know,
interact with them,
I know.
and it's all negative, but it doesn't matter because it's just fucking ratings. Like Mike Lawrence, he sent me something the other day. It pissed me off. It was like oh, it was who should the Eagles draft for quarterback? And it was like, four fucking piece of shit quarterbacks coming out of college. And it's like, why is WIP pushing this shit? And I don't even need to ask that because we know why they're pushing it. They're a fucking trash station.
Well,
Assholes.
did you, by the way, Gordy chimed in. He said, I bet against them last night too.
Yeah, I think, listen, I'm just going to say if you had a brain cell, you bet against them because
See, but
they didn't.
that's exactly the spot where I would not do it.
Yeah, no. Well, yeah, apparently we had no brain cells because that was
Fuck.
fucking painful.
So, yo, I got to tell you something. You brought up WIP and you brought up their stupid Twitter
Yeah, I'm
handle.
trying to find the poll real quick before you go.
Oh no, I wanted to talk about a poll they put up.
Oh, I got it. All right. This is literally the poll or what they posted, and you can take it away. They said, who is your guy for the Eagles? And it is Matt Corral, Kenny Pickett, Desmond Ritter, and Malik Willis. None? Is none okay? Is none the answer? WIP?
Why?
Cups?
Why all of a sudden? Why all of a sudden are people talking about like Malik coming here? Why?
Oh my god, dude. I don't even get me started with him. If they draft him, look at this. You see this? You see this fucking? You see that sprinkler head right there?
I
See
do.
it?
I do. I see it.
You're gonna find me hanging from that fucking sprinkler head. I'm gonna fly back to Dallas and I'm gonna hang myself if they fucking take him. Don't even.
I saw a poll on here the other day, and I can't find it right now because they post a lot of bullshit polls. But it was like, who do you want coaching the Eagles next year? Andy Reid, Doug Peterson, or Nick Sirianni? Like, what the fuck is that poll? Who runs his Twitter account?
Man, just fucking stupid ass motherfucking clickbait bullshit. And you know what's crazy to me?
Clickbait bitches.
You know what's coming crazy to me is that like ESP is almost becoming more tolerable lately. Like the shit that he posts isn't so fucking far fetched. And I don't know what
so
it
bad,
is.
Isn't it bad?
Yeah, that's terrible because the other guys have just become such fucking dog shit players in the game. And honestly, they should fire everyone. Start over. Mike Missinelli. You should the fucking change the Flyers jerseys and then Ty's still running with that shit. Like
Did you see the colors they posted?
Yeah, the fucking Hornets. It's literally the Hornets colors. Like grow the fuck up. That shit. Ugh. The radio, man. And Jason gives me shit too because he'll be like, "Well, how come you don't listen to the radio?" And I'm like, "Because, dude, it makes me so sad. It really makes me sad when I listen to the radio.
It is. It's sad. That's the best way to put it.
It's moronic disc jockeys. It's moronic fucking DJs. It's moronic fucking Delco trash fans calling in, and then it's those two moronic fucking idiots. This was a great call. Thank you, Mikey from fucking Delco. No, it wasn't a good call, and everyone is fucking stupider. And anyone that's listening from out of the market is now fucking stupider. It's just like it's a fucking endless, stupid motherfucking hole of death and despair. Philadelphia radio is trash. It is. It's the worst thing sports-wise about this city. And it's because it creates more fucking idiots. And that's what our problem is. Too many people just follow it blindly like it's fucking gospel.
And maybe that's why people don't want to come to Philadelphia. Listen, here's the thing. If you can have a cakewalk job and you can if you're like think about this. Let's just talk about this. I know we're going long, but let's just talk about this for like 5 minutes. It won't even be 5 minutes. If you are let's just try to just like think about of like a top prospect coming out of college, right? And you know that you're good. You got every team hunting you down. Everybody like you're no matter where you go, you're gonna be like the top player on the team. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Why in the fucking world would you want to come to Philadelphia?
I hear the weather's nice in the winter.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
No, I hear you.
there's like, we get to a point. We get to a point with some of this shit where it's like I'm saying we because I feel like it's the majority of people. I don't think that I do this, but maybe I do. I don't know. But like we get to the point with these dudes where we're like we hold them to this weird like level that like is impossible to achieve. Like I don't know.
Because we want success so bad.
Oh
That's
God,
what we
dude.
want.
Like
We want it now.
I just I don't know. Maybe that's for another podcast. Maybe we should have like three of our buddies on here all at the same time, and we could all argue about like Philly and like why people want or don't want to come here, because I'd love to hear how other people think about it.
That's not a bad idea. And also, I read something, and mind you, not a credible source and not a credible fucking website, but I read an article on Barstool.
Balzac
And
Sports.
yeah, I mean, it might as well be. And they were like, Matt Stafford is the exact reason why, if you're a fucking quarterback coming out of college, maybe you don't have such a great fucking year, and then you get drafted later in the fucking, you know what I mean, in the round, and you can start for a team that has their shit together. Because it's always the same fucking bottom dwellers. It's always the same fucking Detroit Lions, and it's hard to feel bad for Matt Stafford. He made like $200 million. He's got a hot wife. Like there's a lot of things going on in Matt Stafford's life where you're like, I don't feel bad for this guy, but he's in the Super Bowl 1 year after going to a competent fucking place. And I don't know how again, like this is all like some hypothetical bullshit because like, how do you tank yourself and how do you know where you're going to go? I get that, but it's not so far-fetched to think about like.
So what you're saying is like senior quarterbacks or junior quarterbacks should purposely have an ACL injury so they don't have to play their season out and then get drafted later by a good team.
I'm just saying, maybe throw a couple more interceptions, make it drop. It's all about like. It's all about money to success, right? Like if you get drafted in the first fucking couple picks, it's all about the money there.
No, I hear you. I hear you.
It's very hard for me to sit here and like, because I don't know, I don't have money and I don't have fucking athletic ability anymore, so I don't know. And it's easy to say like, oh, this is what you should do, but my point is, and they can never change it because the draft is the right way it should be. If you do shitty, you should get the first pick, but it really hurts people. I think of like Robert Griffin. Like if he maybe was on a better team, what that would have looked like. And like Matt Stafford will always be like the defining player for me. And like Aaron Rodgers, I know he had to sit a while under Brett Favre, but like look what he's done. I mean, he's not as good as Nick Foles, but he's just as good. And then there's all these other guys that are just either really late or like high expectations. Low value of a team equals failure at quarterback.
Yeah.
What?
I don't know. Nick Foles. I'm laughing at your Nick Foles joke.
I mean, Nick Foles has the same amount of Super Bowls, the same amount of Super Bowl MVPs.
Stop.
You're taking Nick Foles over Aaron Rodgers.
Oh, is Nick Foles a Hall of Fame quarterback?
He might be in some fucking fucked up, twisted world. No, I'm clearly kidding about that.
Yeah, no, I know. It's just like it's so fucked. And I like I said, I would love to have this argument with like a round table of people because, like, there's very clearly something wrong with Philadelphia, and it's not just the fact that like it's not just that like we are the worst. We always get the worst general managers and the worst owners and the worst head coaches and the worst, like something is going on in Philadelphia.
I thought we decided that. Well, I mean, I still don't think Howie. Man, I guess so. Like,
here's the thing.
Like
you know what would make Philadelphia team successful? I'm going to say some crazy shit because it doesn't matter. You know what would make all of our teams successful? Is if every general manager of every team in Philadelphia was from Philadelphia.
Oh
because
my god.
because
Could you fucking
because
imagine
listen,
how fucking funny that would be?
they understand what the mentality is in Philly. They understand exactly which guy. I could probably go into an interview with a college kid coming out of college and know right away if this dude's going to make it in Philly or if he's not going to make it.
Well, I bring it, and to your point, like I think of like Denzel Mims, right?
Okay.
He's in there and he's like, "Nah, I'm terrified of Philly. I don't. Philadelphia's dirty, right?" That guy, if I'm a GM, is immediately off my board and thrown
Right.
into the trash can. That guy's not
Gone.
gonna make it here.
Gone.
And and I'm not criticizing Howie. I don't know how that shaped out. It wasn't gonna happen anyway. But like, there's got to be shit that they can know about this stuff. And like, dude, if I was a player and I didn't want to play in New York, I would fucking trash the shit out of New York.
Right. See, here's the thing. Like everybody around here always says, well, yeah, you got to be a certain type of person. You got to be a certain kind of player. You got to be a certain, you got to fit a certain mold. Well, does everyone in Philly understand that like everybody that's good doesn't fit that mold?
Yeah.
Like that's just not the truth. It's not the way it is. Like,
I mean, you would hope.
you know what I'm saying? So that's my solution. Every GM that runs the team should be, or they should have a fucking consultant from Philly. Be like, yo, that dude's not gonna fucking cut it.
Just like a big fat dude sitting with like a white greasy fucking. It's got like oil grease on it and cheesesteak grease and like fucking cheese from the pretzel on it, and he's just fucking housing like a shitty fucking domestic beer and a cheesesteak, and he's like, nah, that guy's not gonna work here.
This guy can't fucking cut it.
A man can dream, dude. A man can dream.
All right, so I mean, I don't even know. This podcast is off the fucking rails, but hey, man.
If we don't lose viewers over this episode, we're doing something all right. Because this is a trash episode. I
love it. So let's just talk about our picks last weekend. I need to gloat for a second because I had a bad week the week before that. Kenny, you went 0-2, man.
That's fine. Fuck me.
You had the Chiefs and the Rams.
I wasn't far off on either of them.
The Rams won, but they only won by 3. You were laying 3. You were laying 3.5, so you lost.
Oh my god! Suck my clit.
I had the Bengals plus 7.5, and I told you to sprinkle that money line, and they fucking won. And the Niners plus 3.5. So I went 2-0 in the divisional. We're gonna hold off, or sorry, in the championship. We're gonna hold off on giving our Super Bowl picks. We're gonna wait until next week to see kind of how things shake out. We'll watch how the line moves. I can tell you right now I'm taking the Bengals, but I'll wait till next week to tell you officially that I'm taking the Bengals.
Hey, before I said I wasn't going to do this, but I'm going to do this. I want to talk about the Flores situation for just like 2 seconds, and we can hop off of this.
Oh no! Listen, if it goes off the rails, I'm cutting it.
Yeah, it's fine. It's not going to go off the rails. But
no, I know.
He said, all right. So 2 things that I take from all this is like, A, you don't have an NFL career anymore because no one's going to take a chance on that, right? Just like look at Colin Kaepernick, right? And I am tying it back into Colin Kaepernick, which I think you'll find interesting. So he goes out there.
You wrote a book report here. I like this. Go ahead, continue.
Yeah. So he goes out. So that's my fact number 1 is like he kind of shot himself in the foot like Colin Kaepernick did. And my whole point is you can't sit there 4, 5, 6 years after Colin Kaepernick stood up for injustice of the NFL, said that, hey, these fucking people are racist, right? And then you come out and then you go, it literally, I think the quote said, like, it's time that the racist injustice of the NFL is brought to light. Where were you 6 years ago when Colin Kaepernick was doing it? You can't just sit in the shadow and now it's convenient for you because you don't like the way things worked out for you. That's bullshit. And if you feel that way and you felt that way, then you need to rally around the guy that's, he took his career and he's doing the same thing now. It's a little too late. Now, there would be validity if there was 3, 4, 5 players and coaches and all this shit doing it. But now you want to say something 6 years, and that's why I think he's a fucking fraud. That's bullshit, man. And that bothers me beyond belief. And I'm not trying to make a big stink out of it, but like you can't just bring it up because it's convenient for you now when you sat back and didn't say anything. You just can't. That's where I'm at.
Yeah, I mean, the thing that sucks about all of it is that there's a couple things that suck about all of it. First of all, there probably are 100% racist fucks in the NFL.
No fucking shit. It's
Yeah.
old white elite men
Yep.
from. Oh, and
And
there is a woman.
you're saying elite because they have money, but
Yes. Yes.
there probably are racist fucks in the NFL. So that's the first problem. The second problem is that this, like, if you look at the statistics of, like, by the numbers, like how many people are employed, like it doesn't look good on paper. It looks really
Yeah.
fucking bad. Like one NFL team right now has a black NFL coach, like head coach. It
Who is that?
doesn't.
Do you know?
Tomlin, I think. Yeah.
Who's will he or will he not be fired?
Right. Well, I don't think he should be. It's not his fault, but I
No,
don't
I
know.
agree with
He's been there a while. They might need to change the scenery, but you know what I'm saying? Like, so, like, if you look at the numbers, it just doesn't look good.
you. Yeah.
But on the flip side of that, you know, there's a lot of, like, I mean, I don't even know what the percentage is of black players versus white players, like, and I don't think that that's necessarily because of their race. I think it's just because of their talent level,
Yeah.
right? Which is what it should all be based on anyway. So
All of it, all around, and
100%.
you can make the argument, like, and Joe said this today, like, who are they to dictate who we think is fit for the job at what we want as a head coach? Like, if you don't like the way Brian Flores coaches, and you see how he coaches, and listen, just shout out all the hearsay. The owner said this about him or whatever. If on paper, on your eyes, you don't think that head coach is a fit for your city and your team and the way you do things, who the hell are they? And when I say they, I mean, like, who, like, outside noise to say,
Right.
oh, they didn't hire him because he's black. That's
Right.
not what's happening here. There is.
I think
Listen,
I
we're
think the
not.
problem I think the problem is that it has happened most
Of
likely.
course,
And
yes, and
that's
that's
the
everywhere
problem.
you look. Yeah,
Yeah.
definitely. But, like, you
Yeah.
can't go off of that and just be like, this is
Make
what's
blanket
happening. It's
statements,
like,
right?
yeah, yes. I was trying to get to that word, I just couldn't get there. So that's it for me. I'm confused by what the motive is, because he's not going to gain anything that Kaepernick. He's going to lose just as much as Kaepernick lost. So if your whole goal was to stop racism, then you need to band together, right? You can't just 6 years later file a separate claim about the Rooney Rule is really fucking weird. It's just an injustice. It's stupid, and things need to change.
Yeah,
They do.
100%, 100%. In a lot of different ways, things have to
Yeah,
change, and
definitely. So that's my woke post for tonight. I'm fucking done.
Well, listen, the NFL remains, that whole subject aside, the NFL remains king, and the NFL continues to provide top-notch entertainment week in and week out. Last weekend was literally no exception. You had two games. One came down to the wire. They were tied back 2-minute warning. Like, it's just ridiculous. Like, the amount of parity that the NFL provides in the way that they run their league is exceptional and unparalleled. And I think this Super Bowl is going to be memorable because these two teams are both trying to they both have, it sounds like a bullshit, like slogan, or not slogan, but I can't think of the right term, but it sounds like some bullshit thing, like they both have something to prove, because they do. Like,
Yeah,
the Bengals haven't seen this stage in a really long
89.
fucking time. 89. And the Rams, Stafford has been playing on the dark side of the fucking moon over there in
13
Detroit,
years.
and just churning out like record-setting numbers when it comes to passing yards. He goes to a new team 1 year and he's in the Super Bowl. So talk about something to prove. This is the game. This is it's just unbelievable. Like, you couldn't draw it up any better. So I'm looking forward to the Super Bowl. Looking forward to talking more about it next week. And hey, I think that's about it. Let's wrap this fucker up. We're not doing any picks this week, so we'll hit some picks next week. We'll do the Super Bowl, and maybe we'll do like 2 or 3 of our favorite, like, prop bets or something like that next week for the Super Bowl.
Yeah,
How
we
about
can
that?
do a healthy Super Bowl prop.
All right, let's go hard on
Prop bet.
props. Maybe we'll go 5.
Ooh,
I
5's
usually
too
have a
balanced.
prop bet sheet that's so long I have to write it on notebook paper, and my wife's looking over at me like, "What the fuck is that?" I'm like, "Oh, it's just props."
No big deal. Just trying to waste all my money.
No, never, man. Units. So anyway, thanks for listening to the podcast. As always, if you love us, great. If you hate us, great. Tell somebody how much you hate us. I listened to this podcast the other day. They fucking were horrendous. You should tell them about us. Go ahead. That's okay. It's all right. It's okay. I love it. But Kenny, come back home. We miss you. Also, there are some phenomenal pictures of Kenny in his Eagles gear at Dallas Stadium. Dallas, Kenny, break out the picture. Kenny was in Dallas Stadium. What was it called? Texas Stadium or AT&T Stadium?
AT&T.
Yeah. So Kenny got to take the tour, and he actually got to stand on the star and basically drop a deuce on it and give the finger
on it.
And it's fantastic. There you go. Yeah.
Tongue out, brother.
Fuck the Cowboys.
The funniest part of all this is like the instructor took all these photos for me.
That's the best one right there.
Yeah.
Double
absolutely.
bird.
Yeah, it was an experience, and honestly, that stadium is really fucking cool.
Yeah.
But it's so funny to watch them just pour billions and millions and billions and billions of dollars for a mediocre team that hasn't done anything for 25 years. I could give you the whole script of what I said the whole tour. I told this one dude in the elevator, didn't know who he was. I said, dude, you got shit all over your shirt. And he goes, oh, you're so funny. And I said, go Birds.
I love it, man.
That will do it for me.
All right, guys. We will talk to you all next week. Thanks for listening. Please like, share, blah de blah de blah. All of our links are on our
fucking bitches. Got nothing to lose.
Yeah. Do it.
Yeah.
All right, guys. We'll talk to you next week.
Bye.
Later.